whenever he visits. It is a source of great pride and excitement, not only for the people of India, but remarkable Indian American community here in the United States.
मेरे परम मित्र ओबामा का बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ कि इसे एक बार हमें आज मिलने का अवसर मिला है.
India's bilateral relationship with the United States is stronger than ever, and we both agreed that the future would be even brighter. I'm speaking to you at a time when the global economy continues to be weak. Several parts of the world are still facing very difficult conditions. This is a time when the world needs new engines of growth. From the point of view of the world's oldest democracy, obviously, it would be nice if the new engines are democratic engines. I'm happy to tell you that today India is poised to contribute as a new engine of global growth. A larger Indian economy has multiple benefits for the world. Obviously, India presents a large and growing market. But India is much more than a market. India is a reliable partner, a source of high-quality scientific, engineering and managerial talent, a crucible of development ideas and experiments, an efficient source of high-quality R&D, and a testimony that democracy and rapid growth can coexist. A very unique feature of the Indo-American relationship is the critical role of the Indian-American community in the U.S. economy. It is rare that immigrants from one nation who becomes immigrants in other enjoy such high respect and repute in both countries. Indian Americans are a powerful cementing force in our growing economic cultural ties. I have just completed 2 years in the office. When I addressed you in 2014, I had just taken over the reins of government. We face a particular challenging domestic and external environment. Confidence of investors was at a low. Doubts were being expressed about the future of the Indian economy. The business community was unhappy with the inertia and stagnation that had set in. There was frustration with archaic policies and red tape. In 2 years, we have managed to overcome the odds and register an impressive economic performance. I want to take this opportunity to describe to you the key elements of our policies. I've said several times that my aim is to reform, to transform. For me, reforms are those policies that transform the lives of ordinary citizens. Let me start with my macroeconomy. Since we took office, inflation, the fiscal deficit, and the balance of payments, current account deficit have all fallen. GDP growth, foreign exchange reserves, stock market valuations, and investors' confidence have all increased. Firstly, we impose carbon taxes on fossil fuels. We took the bold step of decontrolling diesel prices and thereby eliminated energy subsidies. We then replaced them with taxes. A clean environment says per ton has been increased by 8 times. Globally, there is much talk of carbon taxes, but much of it is just that talk. We have put most sectors on automatic approval and opened up sectors like defense and railways to foreign investment. The long pending insurance law reform was successfully passed. Several insurance companies, including American companies, have already enhanced their investment in the insurance sector. We have taken major steps to increase the ease of doing business and have already begun climbing steeply in the global ranking. Our Startup India program has stimulated a new breed of innovators. We have brought more than 200 million people into the banking system through the financial inclusion program called Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana. This is more than the population of most countries in the world. Agriculture remains India's mainstay in terms of providing livelihood. There was a tendency to deprive farmers of subsidized fertilizer by diverting it for the production of chemicals. A simple but very effective solution is neem coating of fertilizer, which makes it unsuitable for diversion. We have moved towards universal neem coating of urea. It has already saved millions of rupees of diverted farm subsidies and improved fertilizer availability to farmers. For many years, economists and other experts have held corruption to be one of the main constraints on the growth of any developing country. We have taken decisive steps to curb corruption. I have already referred to what has been done in public sector banks. We removed discretion in allocation of key resources and moved to transparent auction of mines, spectrum, and FM radio licenses, and we have plused leakage through direct benefit transfer. We will continue to have disciplined and prudent macroeconomic policies. I firmly believe that sound macroeconomic fundamentals are necessary foundation for long-term sustainable growth. Secondly, we will combine this with a continued stress on inclusion and equity. Thirdly, we will continue to make progress on improving the investment climate and ease of doing business. We want to make India a destination which not only welcomes business, but where it is easy to do business. We have largely achieved the first by drastically liberalizing our foreign direct investment policies. We have made a good beginning on the second and will continue to make further improvements. We will continue to invest large sums to create a world-class infrastructure. We will continue to strengthen the Make in India initiative. It is very important for us that developed countries open their markets not only to goods from countries like India, but also to services. I see this as a win-win proposition for the US and for India. India is the future human resource powerhouse of the world with a young, hard-working population. In my vision, a partnership between American capital and innovation and Indian human resources and entrepreneurship can be very powerful. I am convinced we can strengthen both our economies through such a partnership. We will continue to make our tax policies more predictable. In the field of nuclear energy, we are purchasing 6 nuclear reactors from Westinghouse, which will mark a new era in our nuclear and scientific cooperation. We have begun our journey towards a transformed India. A transformed India with 1/6 of humanity will mean a transformed world. The journey will be long, but the progress we have achieved so far convince me that we will reach our destination. I invite you to join us on this journey. It is a journey which offers the exciting possibility of not only building a better balance sheet of your company, but of building a better India, building a better America, and building a better world.
We see our business as closely integrated and contributing to the success of Prime Minister Modi's programs, Digital India, Skill India, Startup India, and Make in India, which are supporting India's growth. Today, we operate an e-commerce marketplace that sells 55 million different products from 85,000 different sellers in India, traditional Indian retailers, and many small businesses and medium businesses make up those sellers. I have a special kinship for small sellers because 20 years ago, I was one. We just had a few employees. I was driving the packages to the post office myself in my 1987 Blazer, which Consumer Reports said not to buy used under any circumstances. And I was dreaming that one day we would be able to afford a forklift. E-commerce enables Digital India by helping traders go online and sell to a large global customer base. 41-year-old Kyuri Ghoshar is a teacher of 20 years who wanted to start her own business. She started a business that she called Beyond Toys and Gifts, selling toys, books, and other merchandise on Amazon India from her house in Mumbai. In the beginning, she had little knowledge of computers. We helped her understand online selling, and today her revenues are over $200,000 per month. We've witnessed increasing e-commerce adoption across rural India. This growth is motivating more Indians to buy and sell online, enabling infrastructure creation and helping to build valuable skills. We're leveraging e-commerce to teach new skills and contributing to the Skill India initiative. Kamahama, a 50-year-old widow who runs a small store in Bangalore, selling bags, enrolled her store in Amazon's pickup and delivery network, and doubled her income to $500 a month in just a few months. There are 9,000 such entrepreneurs in the country who run pickup points for Amazon India. Our investments in India have created jobs and helped ancillary industries like packaging and transportation and logistics, and our technology has helped improve supply chain infrastructure. We've so far built 21 fulfillment centers with nearly 5 million cubic feet of storage space and partnered with India Post, which has enabled us to reach all serviceable PIN codes across the whole country and contributed to India Post's growth. Soon, India will also be the home to our largest software engineering and development center outside the U.S., located in Hyderabad, which will provide jobs and career development for thousands of developers. An ambitious program like Startup India needs the power of technology to help it grow, and we're excited to announce that we'll open an Amazon Web Services cloud region in India this year. Our investments won't only support Startup India, but will help to accelerate India's role as a hub for innovation and digital entrepreneurship. And over time, a significant number of new jobs will be created because of the deployment of Amazon Cloud services and the way that makes Indian businesses nimbler, efficient, and global. And we've barely scratched the surface of this vast nation and its potential, its immense value to the global economy. Close to 8,000 Indian businesses are selling directly to customers in the U.S. and in Europe from our website. 5,000 Indian businesses participated in record-breaking Black Friday sales last year. Make in India and sell to the world is turning into a reality. For example, Nadeem Syed, who owns a company called Standard Leather in Mumbai, is earning $3,500 a month selling leather jackets in the United States. It would have been very, very difficult, perhaps even unimaginable, to figure out how to do that as a leather workshop worker prior to the internet. In addition, big Indian brands like Organic India and Himalaya have seen significant sales growth and a global stage to directly connect with customers. I'm pleased to announce today that Amazon will invest an additional $3 billion on top of the $2 billion investment that we announced in 2014, bring our total committed investment in India to over $5 billion US. India is an amazing nation. It's a great nation. It's a great democracy. And the people of India are incredibly dynamic. When I peer into the future of India, what I see is unlimited India.
And when you think about our two countries, you think about the largest democracy in the world, and you also think about a democracy that I believe is the most modern democracy. We have opportunities to do things together that I think no two countries have ever really anticipated. We have an opportunity with technology transitions that are going on around the world, something called digitization, that Prime Minister Modi clearly understands, and is driving that through his entire country with a speed unequaled anywhere else in the world. And to put this in proper perspective, and then I'll bring it back from India to the U.S., and then say what we have a chance to do together. If you go back to the 1990s in the U.S., when the information age, the internet occurred, we, for 8 years, under President Clinton, grew our GDP by 18%, our real per capita income by 17%, and created 22.5 million jobs. And when a leader grasps what is possible and then becomes the champion of it and drives it through the country, it's amazing what can happen. The information age lasted from 1990 to 2010, in my opinion. And now think of it as an entirely next generation approach. A generation where you go from connecting 1,000 devices in 1984 to 15 billion to the internet today to 500 billion in 15 years. What that translates to is it will change every aspect of our lives. It will change healthcare and education. It will change which companies get ahead and which ones get left behind. It will transform government. It has many advantages, and I think it can result in the same income increase that we've seen before in the U.S., this time in India and the U.S. if we do it right. It has the chance to do the same job creation opportunities, and it has a chance to perhaps bring two countries together in a way that we have not done in the past. Not with incremental improvement, but thinking what is really possible between the U.S.-India business groups and the government groups on this transformation. It would be so easy to stand up here this evening and say, here's where we're going to go, and just think incrementally. But we know this new world is a world where 40% of the companies in this room won't exist in 10 years because we will fail to reinvent ourselves. It's a world that where if government leaders and business leaders come together, regardless of politics or political parties, to say, how can we transform two great nations? How can we transform business relationships, not talking about incremental trade or incremental investment, but transforming the lives of 1.3 billion people in India and over 300 million here in the U.S.? I think the time has come where we dare to be aggressive. I think not just thinking about it as a country, but the power of two of the key democracies pulling together toward the same goal. We see this occurring in other parts of the world, in the United Kingdom with Cameron, Germany with Merkel, Renzi in Italy, Netanyahu in Israel, Hollande in France. We see it occurring in China. But no leader in the world understands this more than Prime Minister Modi on how it can change and completely transform a country to grow GDP by 1 to 3 points faster than it would before, increase job creation by 1 million a month in his country, and in my opinion, a job creation opportunity that is 2x what we're currently growing at in the U.S., the ability to encompass every single citizen within India through a broadband capability that is 5 times the capacity of what we see in the U.S. at 1/5 the cost as he builds this out. It is a leader who truly understands what is possible. And so as we think about both today and tomorrow between our governments and our businesses, rather than think incrementally and think of the world it used to be, I think we can think about what dramatically we could do together. And when you hear Prime Minister Modi talk in a little while, you'll find he's a great communicator, but he's also a great listener. So my challenge is to the group, let's not just do things status quo. Let's say this could be an inflection point that's occurring everywhere else in the world, and rather than think about it by country or by company, let's think about what we could do together in a way that hasn't been done before.
This transformation in Sun's journey to where we have reached has been possible because of our focus on solving problems for patients and making appropriate investments in technology, in world-class manufacturing, and in research and development. US is the largest market for us. Almost 50% of our turnover is in the US. In last few years, both in growing our business and in acquiring business, we've invested close to $4 billion in the US. And we continue to invest in the US, both in manufacturing infrastructure as well as in R&D. Out of $450 million that we will spend in R&D, $200 million we will spend in the US. And this is with a view to develop a portfolio of innovative products which will solve problems like cancer, problems like drug addiction, spasticity, and will help them potentially look for a better way of life. So, Prime Minister, sir, we promise you that as your Make in India call to Indian industrialists and global citizens, we will not only make in India, but we will innovate in India and take the products that we develop and make to the world.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.